and greetings to all of our listeners from around the planet and throughout the cosmos. Today we have a very special guest with us, Janet Doerr. Janet is a medical intuitive, master energy healer, and ascension guide. Janet uses her multidimensional gifts of perception, deep connection with the company of heaven, compassionate heart, and masterful use of a wide range of healing techniques to provide transformative results for her clients. People who work with Janet report rapid shifts in health conditions, regaining a peaceful state, improvements in relationships, and feeling empowered.
Thank you, Micah, and good evening to all the other members of the Roundtable. It's a pleasure to be back.
Wonderful, wonderful. You wanted to do a bit of a theme for tonight's show. I believe that's called Staying Open to Your Journey, How to Expand versus Contract Through It All. And I'm sure, like many of us, we have all been going through some intense energy shifts, especially lately. I'm wondering, people are really experiencing a lot lately, and there's so much happening and coming up in everyone's lives. It's happening in all aspects of life, from relationships to family, career, financial, living situations, and health. What does it mean to stay open to your life's journey?
Well, we use those words, and people say, "I'm trying to stay open." I am opening up to receive whatever might come to me. And it's easier to do if we're in the frame of mind and trust and have faith that everything is, in fact, in divine perfection and unfolding perfectly for us, and that actually we live in a benevolent universe with a benevolent God, and we are being supported, guides and angels guiding us along the way. So when we look at that, and then we don't feel as alone, oh, it's just me and all this stuff is happening, then we shift from thinking that everything is happening to me, which puts us in a victim mode, to realizing that in truth, everything is happening for us. We're deeply connected, we're deeply supported, and our soul is guiding us through our journey step by step. So, as an example, oftentimes we just don't know to watch for the blessings in things. So you're on the highway and someone cuts in close in front of you, and you feel this surge of little volcano of anger energy erupt from your pelvis and kind of come roaring up, and you're about to say something or gesture or something. And what we need to do is go, oh, this was a blessing. I am releasing anger energy. The anger energy didn't get created at the moment the person cut you off. The anger energy was already present within you and suppressed. And that person kindly coming a little close with their car and cutting in front of you caused you to feel the energy, caused you to allow it to come roaring up. So then if we go, oh, yeah, this is anger energy and there's a lot of it, it's way out of proportion to what we might feel if we felt endangered because someone nearly clipped our car. This volcano is indicative of a lot of stored anger. Who knows when and where, what timeline, some of it generational, it really doesn't matter where it all got collected, but we had a big pocket of energy in us. And the action of that blessed soul kind of coming in front of us triggered us. And up the energy comes because all energy wants to rise. It wants to move faster, and denser energies, anger's moving very slow. We just heard Aurora talking about moving up to higher dimension, higher frequency. That means the energy moves faster. It's lighter. There's more light within it. There's not so much density and heaviness in the energy. So this dense energy within us, this anger pool, gets triggered, goes off like a rocket. It's almost like a volcano or a Roman cannon, and up it comes. What we need to learn to do is to breathe and just go, this is intense energy, but I can breathe my way through it. And I don't need to project ill will at the person ahead of me. I can just say thank you for the experience, and thank you to my angels for keeping me safe while I experience this. Now I'm just going to breathe. And you practice for the women, we're practicing our Lamaze breathing that we, learned how to do way back when. So that would be an example. Let me give another example. A person is storing something that they're self-conscious about or judging themselves about. I'm not good enough about something. So you're in a relationship with someone and that person teases you. And that teasing is the perfect thing for you to go within, and now you're really present to that. I'm not good enough, and they just tease me about that thing that I feel self-conscious about. And now you're present to sadness or anger on top of sadness. And then you're able to release that energy if you stay present to it and just go, okay, I'm feeling some energy. I'm feeling a little bit of anger that they teased me and they pushed my button. And now I can feel the sadness underneath. And I'm remembering, how many times at school people teased me that I was this or I was that. And I was self-conscious and I didn't love myself entirely and completely. And so then that creates an energy where people will, kind of pick at you because they want you to release that energy so that you can get on to loving yourself more fully. When we truly love ourselves a lot, we don't really care what anybody says about us, to us. It's just like energy goes over the back, they're expressing what they're expressing. I don't have to let it land. And if it does land, chances are it hit something within me that needed my loving attention. And I can alchemize it up and out by bringing in more love and self-acceptance and compassion for myself, and then dissolve the energy. And of course, we can blaze a violet flame. And so we can use that violet flame, which is the pink ray of Mother God's love, the blue ray of Father God's love, and a little gold secret sauce. And that violet energy has transmutational powers. It is alchemy, because what is it doing? It's taking anything that's discordant, dissolving it in love, and then the energy can lift, purified, and go back to source.
That's beautiful. Wow, what an incredible description. Thank you so much for that. It's very interesting because it coincides with a book I just wrote on neuroscience and mindfulness and rewiring the neural pathways in your brain through neuroplasticity, and how I also go into the difference between emotions and feelings. And what you were just describing there was very interesting to me. Like the emotion is that gut reaction in the moment, right? But the feeling can be that memory of an emotion from a previous time, like you had said, you got picked on in school or whatever. So differentiating between an emotion and feeling, you can really it helps you, like you were saying there.
Sounds like a wonderful book. Thank you for your gift.
Thank you very much, Janet. Yes. Wonderful. So you suggested you would like to lead us in some energy processes, or is there anything else you wanted to do prior to that?
Just a couple things I want to bring our attention to. A lot of the how do we stay open is to get skillful in observing ourselves, noticing how we're feeling, what's going on inside, what are we thinking? And that's a go within, get present. And when we're doing so, then we are truly being conscious, which consciousness is awareness. So when we can be aware of ourselves and aware of what we're feeling and aware of what we're thinking, we are bringing our presence, we are bringing our God qualities, our consciousness in to observe what is happening. And that helps us stay in a more neutral point of view. So we're always trying to create we're creator beings. So a person's going, well, I've got this relationship, and maybe it's a new relationship, and the person is desiring that it be a very close and authentic and harmonious relationship. Or a person has a job and they are choosing to have a new one that better serves them, that provides different blessings, or they feel better about being there. So we're always creating. So as soon as we choose something that we would like to experience and start to put that our intention out, start to feel, yeah, I'd really like this relationship to go this way, then what happens? And what happens is everything on our way to receive what it is that we're desiring to create and bring into form comes up. So, for example, you want a new job. You've decided that what you're doing is less than satisfying, or you're not getting the remuneration, or you don't like the work environment. So you choose, okay, I'm going to start looking for a new job. And a person starts applying. So they apply, they put their resume out there. Let's say the person gets an interview, and they come to the interview and they think it goes reasonably well, but then they find out they weren't not selected. So now what comes up? The sadness, oh, maybe I don't think I'm quite good enough in a certain area, and maybe I projected that not good enough into my interview, or maybe this, or maybe that. Whatever it is that needs to be felt through to completion then arises from the blessing of not getting selected for that job. And a person will later find when they do get selected for a job, then they start going, oh, I'm really grateful that I didn't get selected for that first job, because this is the job I was meant to have. This is so much more fulfilling. So on our path to experience something that we've chosen, we may encounter a few speed bumps. You go to the interview, you don't get selected, you get to feel disappointed. But in the process, maybe the person also gets greater confidence. I really can do this. I really would be good at this. I remember, I've used these skills in these other ways. By the time they get to their next interview, now there's been some soul growth, some release of some energies of disappointment, and some embodiment of greater self-confidence and greater assuredness. So they get into the next interview, and now they're also interviewing differently, with different energy, with more loving self-respect. And that there, plus the fit between the job and their soul gifts, is going to determine whether or not, they get chosen. Is there a resonance between that job and getting selected? So if we really can get to the point where we realize that the many of the things that we wished for in life and didn't receive were the greatest blessings we were ever given, that we were saved from what we later found out was that particular person was not trustworthy. I'm sure glad that we broke it off on the second date. Or that workplace turned out to be more toxic, and I heard other people working there, and I went, oh, saved. I didn't have to experience that. And so we start realizing we are being guided along through this benevolent universe. But now we want to check in with ourselves. So let's do a first practice, if everybody would like to play with me, those of you who are here and those of you who are listening live or to the replay. So going within, and we just start by a check-in with ourselves. And we're going to check in on a couple things. What are you feeling? What emotion are you present to? What are you aware of thinking in this moment or in the last 10 minutes? And then I'll ask you one more question. So what are you feeling emotionally? What are you thinking? One more. And anything you're noticing going on in your body. So a feeling, a sensation. So if everyone would just like to pause, get quiet, and reflect, and maybe make a note. What are you noticing going on inside? Emotion, a thought, and if there's any bodily sensation, feelings, what you're noticing. Okay, now one more thing that is very helpful for us to start noticing whether we're open or closed. And that actually has to do with whether our energy field is expanded or contracted. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10, your energy field is expanded, wildly expanded, as big as it can go, or a 1, you notice your energy is very tight, very contracted. The energy is contracted and it pushes in on the physical body, and the physical body feels tight also. On a scale of 10 to 1, 10 very expanded, 1 quite contracted. Everyone note and just give yourself a little score of where I am right now. And Micah, so we can play along here, would you mind sharing what number you gave yourself, expanded or contracted, and something about what you were aware of going on inside?
Sure. I'm feeling it's like a ball of excitement in me is what I'm feeling.
Okay.
And I'd say around a 7.5 to 8 on the expansion side of things. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
I just
And
worked in the garden today, so I'm feeling good from the energy of the earth.
yeah, and very, very balanced, I'm sure. Okay, now anybody listening, you may be having a completely different experience. You didn't work in the garden all afternoon. You had a harried, stressed day, and you may feel like, no, I'm really feeling tight and I've got this pain or that sensation. So whatever you're experiencing and whatever you observed about yourself is just perfect. Now we're going to do a little bit of energy work so that we can learn how, in a given moment, when we observe what's going on with us, how we could do a few things and shift. So I invite everyone to take one hand, put it over the very center of your chest, and with your eyes closed, breathe in under your hand. And we'll just do some nice slow breaths. So breathing in into the core of your being and pause. And then now when you breathe out, sigh out, make some noise. Ah, really let yourself
Ah,
release any tension that may be present. So another nice deep breath in, breathing in under the hand, pausing. It's not holding the breath, but pausing so that you can reflect and let the energy move that we just brought in. And now it's done its work. So now we can say, I release it. And anytime you become aware of some tightness or tension or an emotion that's something less than joy and love, by saying, I choose to release all that no longer serves me, taking a breath in to the core of your being, pausing, let the energy go where it needs to go. And then on the out breath, sigh it out. I call that the Friday night sigh. We get to the end of a big work week and it's been busy. And if we take a breath and go, it signals to the body we can relax, we can release, we can let go. So from our hands, then, which are at the center of our chest, I know some of you can see me and most of you are hearing only audio. So now we're going to go up in your column of light. So up through the middle of your upper chest, up through your throat, up through the center of your head, out your crown. And some of your crowns are nice and wide open, and some of them are a little more tightly closed. So I invite everyone to open it like it's a lotus flower and open your crown chakra wide open. Let the petals open. There you go. Because if it's open, then we can go get more light and there'll be more room to let the light in. And now we're going to go above the head through the upper chakras, still in your pillar, your column of light that goes from down and straight above you. So we're going now through the 8th chakra, 9th chakra, 10th chakra, 11th chakra, 12th chakra, which is roughly 6 feet above most people's head, or 2 meters. And now go up further until you see, sense, feel, can connect with a swirling sea of white light where you exist as pure consciousness, pure awareness. This is you in your most expansive state. And allow yourself to notice what you feel like, your unique soul signature, your sound and light vibration, unique to you of all souls in multiverses and beyond. There's only one signal put out by a radio station like yours. You're unique, absolutely unique. So now let's gather up more of all that beautiful light from up there in that swirling sea, which is you, your consciousness, and now direct it so that it's going to pour in and down through your column of light like a liquid waterfall, liquid light waterfall, pouring in at the 12th chakra, 6 feet above your head, through the 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th chakra into your wide open crown, washing through your head, your third eye, clearing out the cobwebs in the brain, in the thinking, in everything going on in the gray matter of the brain, and the spiritual glands getting a freshening up. Let the light now pour down through your neck, into your upper chest, through the high heart, and pause for a minute and let all this liquid light fill your heart. You might think of your heart to be like a cave, and letting the light come in the cave and noticing, oh, there's a door and an alcove to the left, and then there's another little alcove to the right. So let all of this light come in through every space and place in your heart chakra cave, and let the light and the love of you illuminate. Keep you comfortable, help you feel safe and secure as your heart fills with this liquid light substance. Beautiful, everyone. So now we're going to let the light pour on down through the solar plex and the upper abdomen, through the navel chakra, through the sacral chakra. Let the light fill your hips, your pelvic region, receiving yourself, more of the love that you are, more of your divinity, just pouring in and down and through into the hips. And now we'll let it overflow down through the upper legs, through the knees, through the lower legs, into the ankles, and tap your feet on the floor. Happy feet. Open up the foot chakras wide so the light can pour out the bottoms of your feet down to about 1.5 feet or 1/3 of a meter below your feet. There, I'd like you to see, sense, feel, or imagine a metallic disc about the size of a manhole cover in a city street, 2 feet around or across roughly. And now you have electromagnetic energy field. You have magnets. So connect your magnetic portion of your electromagnetic field to the metal in this metal disc that's down below your feet, and lock on. Magnet to metal. Boom. The earth contains metal. So that's how we can use our magnetic energy to connect magnet to metal to the earth. Nice deep breath. And now in that, we're going to embed Metatron's cube sacred geometry. And for those that are not familiar with that diagram, it's one circle surrounded by 6 inner circles, surrounded by 6 outer circles. And if you're watching this later on a video, then you can see there's a diagram up above my shoulder on the board behind me. So that is Archangel Metatron's, one of his many amazing sacred geometrical forms. So I'm going to invoke Archangel Metatron and ask him to assist everyone here to activate Metatron's cube in your Earth Star chakra at the point of that metallic disc. We're placing the circle, the inner circles, the outer circles, so 13 circles. And we're standing right in the center circle in our column of light. And those outer circles all turn into columns of light, and they rise up around you And then they start spinning and rotating from the right to in front of you to the left behind you. Faster and faster, these columns of light from below your feet up to 6 feet above your head. They're spinning, and as they spin faster and faster, they create a vortex. And a vortex tends to suck in more energy from above, so it pulls in even more of your Christed light in, down, and through your column and into your being. And it pulls up more of the beautiful crystalline energies of the earth up through your feet, up through your legs, and up in, and we'll mix them in your heart with a gold figure eight. We'll run it side to side, parallel to the floor. Everyone just take a nice deep breath. The combination of the Metatron's cube vortex is opening our energy fields. It's unlocking us and allowing us to expand. So everyone take a nice deep breath in and feel that in fact there's some motion, there's some opening in your energy field. And the gold figure eight was doing some balancing, clearing polarity, good, bad, right, wrong, you're okay and I'm not, or vice versa. All that kind of thinking is polarized or duality. Nice deep breath. So we're just releasing polarized energies in our field, and it's bringing a little bit more balance to the right side of our field, which is our masculine, and the left side of our field, which is feminine. The loops of the figure eight go and loop around the right side of our energy and cross over at our heart, loop around the left side of our energy, cross over in the heart. And as that sacred geometry, the gold infinity sign, runs faster and faster, we also can notice a calming. So everyone just feel into the energy and notice what's going on in your body. What can you feel? Some calming, some quieting, a more peaceful, centered energy. So take a nice deep breath in. And now out with sound. Ah, I choose to release anything no longer serving me. And now if everyone would once again come into your own presence and be aware and ask yourself, okay, how am I feeling now? What am I present to? What am I aware of in my bodily sensations? Is there any emotion? What am I thinking? And notice if there's been any shift from what you noted before to now after we've done a little energy work. And now also on a scale of 10, if your energy field is wide open, expanded massively, give yourself a 10. And if it's very contracted and tight, a 1. And notice now, was there a shift with the energy work? So Micah, you were already quite expanded and feeling light, although this burst of excitement energy in your chest you were talking about. So that was a ball of some energy. So what are you feeling now? How did you rate your energy field now in expansion? And what changes or shifts did you notice?
Yeah, so the ball of energy has dissipated, I guess you would say, and I feel a sense of calm throughout the body and energy field. It's very wonderful, actually. And I find, even just the breathing alone can be so powerful. But that was very beautiful. Thank you so much, Janet.
Oh, my pleasure. And that's a really powerful process to use. It's very simple, as you notice. We breathe, we go up, we connect with ourselves, we come back down and ground a foot and a half below the feet. And then we ask Archangel Metatron to assist us. Or if you're familiar with doing this, you just say activate Metatron's cube and activate the sacred geometry within you. But he's more than happy to assist at any time. anyone who's maybe a little unsure or would just like assistance as to going about it. Trust me, your higher self knows how to do this, although your human self may not have that awareness. So by just saying, activate Metatron's cube, you've given a command, you're calling in the sacred geometry, and it will work whether you believe it or not, or whether you think you're good at it or not. It's, it's not going to be paying attention to human thought. It's just going to do its job, bring in that sacred energy. If any of the other folks with us tonight want to pop in chat or come on the line and share what your experiences was, feel free. Yeah, great. If someone is in on the call now and would like to share what you experienced, I'd love to hear.
Right. So anybody on the roundtable that would like to pitch in, please do feel free. I guess in the meantime, what we could say, what if a person finds themselves overwhelmed and unable to process it all? Like they're just feeling like it's too much coming at them all at once.
Yeah, I think we've all been there. We find ourselves in a situation where there's this, and you're addressing that, and you're being present to that event or experience, and then something else piles on, and you go, okay, take a breath, make room and expand to address the second event. And then the third comes on, and sometimes we just go, oh, this is just too much. The number one thing to remember is your soul will never give you more than you can handle. We live in a benevolent universe. So your human self may think this is too much. I can't handle this, but that's actually not true. You can. So what you can do instead of saying this is too much is stop, put your hand over your chest, breathe in underneath it, and say some encouraging things to yourself, like, my soul would never give me too much to handle. I am able to respond to these various things happening simultaneously. Yes, it's challenging, but I am able to respond. And then ask for help. Spirit, guides, I need some assistance. I have to make a decision about this or that, and I can't see with my personality self, I'm not seeing the best path. Let me close my eyes, get quiet, and have you guide me. Help me to know what the best decision is of these two choices. I'll sit quiet and listen. So that's one of the things we can do is tell ourselves, I am capable of getting through all that's happening right now, and then ask for help. How would I like to be supported?
Yeah, line 2, your old friend Caroline Oceana Ryan, Janet.
Hey.
Welcome, Caroline.
Thank you so much, Micah. And hello to everybody. Hello to Janet. I just wanted to say the process Janet just took us through was mind-blowing. And it's just one sort of microcosm of how amazing her work is. And I've shared this before on the show that I was going through a health crisis a few years ago, and Janet was her work is so powerful, and it so helped me to do even just one session with her. But I went from a 3 this evening when Janet said, look at how expansive or constricted you are, 1 to 10, and I was a 3 because I had a very stressful week with way too much work, too much stuff going on. And then by the end of the process, I was up something between a 7 and an 8, which to me feels like a miracle. And this is just brilliant wisdom, and I just have to thank her for that. I've been looking forward to hearing her on the show for the past week or more, so I'm very, very glad to hear her. So I just wanted to share that. It's just beautiful stuff. Yeah.
Thank you, Carolyn. And for those who don't know, Carolyn is a very skillful energy worker herself. So she found herself in a busy week feeling a bit contracted. And when we, can stop and get more deeply present and use a process that, you know your own good tools, maybe this added one to your kit to use, then you working with the sacred geometry, it helps us open up. So the title of the session tonight to say, how can we stay open to what's happening? This process helps open us up. Literally, it opens and expands our energy field. And many people know if we're feeling open, we're more relaxed. And if we're, stressing and closing down and contracting, the body feels tight and not as much light is getting in. So we find it more challenging to think things through. We ask for help, but we're closed down, so we're not actually able to listen and hear the guidance we might be receiving in the moment. So this is a key in working with our energy field to open it up, expand it out.
So, Janet.
Excellent. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that, yes, Caroline, we had a lovely lunch and a connection with Caroline this afternoon, and I feel expanded.
Yeah.
And I can feel the new energy stronger. And the chatter on the news is very far receded in the background. And that's exciting for me. Thank you for joining us, Janet. You are the one. And thank you, Caroline.
And yeah, and to all who've shared here, thank you for bringing, some personal experience in. What we need to remember always is the outer world is a reflection. And if we see something out there and we find ourselves reacting to it, then we're wise to stop, get quiet, go within, and notice what's going on inside of us. What energies are getting triggered? What is getting evoked? What are we thinking? What sensations are happening in our body? How can we bring in more violet flame and love and alchemize the energies that are going on within us? Because how do we get heaven on earth here on the earth and a peaceful place for us all to live? We first need to be the change we wish to see in the world. So we need to get peaceful and quiet within. And the truth is, then our spirit, our soul is probably going to redirect our energy and attention to something in our lives that we're creating, some service that we can be in the world, some help that we can provide to a neighbor, so that we redirect our focus from, oh dear, I see that happening out there, inward, and then start making the changes, taking the action, getting the inspiration that we're meant to be on our path and our journey in the moment.
Yeah. Beautifully put. Absolutely. Yeah, and I feel that these energies now, they are going to show us so much that we haven't healed, that we weren't even aware is there calling out to be healed, until it really speaks to us pretty loudly, and then we can't avoid it. So, right. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, and our bodies.
Thank you so much, Janet.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn, for adding your voice and energy. Our bodies are always just lovingly trying to get our attention. And so if we're not taking the time to stop, get quiet, notice what we're feeling, alchemize it, dissolve it back into love, return to peace within, return to harmony within, then we can radiate out harmony and peace to others and to the world. If we're not doing that, or we get distracted with our lives and kind of get wrapped up in what's the happening and the doing, our bodies may very well stop us, slow us down, give us a symptom, and we end up with something going on, a health condition. And then that's serving us too, because it's an invitation to get quiet, slow down, take better care of the body, spend quiet time and listen. and see what else is going on inside that needs our loving attention. So everything is working for us always.
So Janet, why is it that people may find themselves revisiting or re-experiencing a pattern that they thought they had already completed and left behind? And maybe you could also talk about what it means to surrender.
Okay, so it's a misunderstanding that life is linear and it's a path that we walk and we're going forward along a line. And so then we think, well, I left it behind me. I took care of that already. I cried those tears. Oh, someone teased me and I realized, oh, I was, carrying some wounding. And so I released that and I forgave myself and forgave the others that are teasing and triggering me. But in fact, we're not on a linear path. We are in a spiral. So think of a slinky, everyone, and how that slinky goes, we played with them as a child, and it goes around and around and around and around. Well, now if the slinky could be more like a spiral, where it's smaller at one point, and as the loops go around, they're actually getting wider and wider and wider. That's really what's happening. So our experience, if we have an experience way back when, and then you come to a point where it gets your attention and you start doing some clearing, you pay attention to what's going on inside, you feel the anger, you go, oh, I'm going to forgive. Okay, I'm going to release that. Maybe it was happening for me and I didn't understand what the blessing was at the time. I'm going to let go. So you do some work. Fantastic, beautiful. And now you make your way, you start going around the spiral, but you're circling around. Well, you can actually get back to the point right above where you were on the circle. So the slinky comes around and now you're up a bit. You have progressed up in frequency and awareness, but you're near something that happened before. And so we call that, I thought I came full circle on this, or I realized I had come full circle. That is a really good phrase to illustrate this thing that we're on a spiral, not a linear path. So when you make your way around the circle of the spiral and you come close to where you were before when you were doing the clearing or had the awareness, there may be some more. There may be something else, some other beautiful nuance, a belief system that related to the energy that you cleared before, or a further awareness about how that previous experience had blessed you. Or maybe if you're still feeling angry about it and you said, okay, I'm going to forgive and forget, but you come back around and you realize, well, I guess I didn't release all of the anger because here I am still kind of going about something. So then you get a chance to come full circle and look at it one more time and look at it a little deeper. So you're peeling the onion, if you like, of your energy field. And onions have many layers. So you may peel off 2 or 3 nice big ones with some good cry outs and some anger release and, making some new decisions and talking to yourself differently and more lovingly. But you may find that when it comes around full circle, something will happen and you're invited to just look a little deeper, to just explore a little bit further, to get a little deeper into your heart and notice some sadness that you hadn't quite got to yet. So that's often what's happening when people say, I thought I was over this. Well, you are actually over it. You've progressed up the spiral. And from that higher vantage point, you have greater wisdom and awareness to look back on what else is going on inside of you. But maybe you just haven't completely dissolved everything back into love. And when you have, you will find that you're done. It's all just love and you're just okay with what happened and you love the other people you interacted with and all is well. And you're able to see the blessings that were present in it. And then the next question I think you wanted me to touch on was, so how do we surrender? So first off, If we think, well, okay, I'm going to try and remember everything is happening for me, not to me. Therefore, everything is blessing me, even if the blessings are that I'm getting triggered and energy is coming up from within and it's not comfortable. Rage is not, a comfortable energy to feel. Grief is less than comfortable to feel, but they're energies that need to arise. It all wants to come up and be dissolved into the light and go back to source. So surrender is not giving in. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is letting go. I had the experience 2 winters ago that I tumbled down the stairs and sprained both of my ankles at the same time. So I didn't have one good angle to hop on. and it was a very difficult healing experience. I spent a lot of time having to sit in a chair with my feet elevated and could barely get around with a walker. It was really challenging. And the day it happened, I just had to go, oh, so this is what we're doing. Like, well, what can I do? Right? And so in that, oh, so this is what the experience I'm having here. Oh, okay, well, now I'm going to be on a swollen ankle. My ankles were puffy like tree trunks, extraordinary amounts of pain. And it was like, well, I guess this is going to serve me and bless me somehow. So I'll just take it one moment at a time. And so I chuckled my way through a lot of it. Yes, there were times when, excruciating pain was present. So was I really comfortable in those times? No, but get me the CBD, get me the, get me the ice pack, please, ask for help. And so surrender is not giving up. Surrender is not giving in. Surrender is letting go of the desire to resist the experience, the opinions one might have that might come blurting out of your mouth. I shouldn't have to experience this. Well, thank you for your thank you for your thoughts, but here you are experiencing it. So in that case, it would be a surrender to what is, accept that what is happening, and accept and know and trust your soul's got you. There's a blessing in the experience. You may see it later, not now, but that's okay. Trust that the blessing will be revealed and that there's some great soul wisdom and awareness you're meant to receive by going through the experience. And then you open your energy field up. And when our energy field is open, staying open to what's happening, allowing, engaging, receiving, accepting, what's happening is what's happening, then we're not suffering. Suffering is optional. Suffering is what we could create by complaining about or resisting, contracting our energy field. We can receive so much more when we let go, accept, open up, and then start going, okay, well, what would make this easier? I could use this support. I'd appreciate help with this. Start making your list. Ask your angels and guides. Okay, I've got some requests. I would appreciate some assistance with this and this and this. And speak to your earth angels around you and your family, your friends. I've got this going on. It's challenging. I could really appreciate some assistance with. Could someone drive my son to a soccer game? Could this happen? I'd be very grateful if one of you would step forward and assist me at this time. And that's letting go, accepting, choosing what we'd like to receive, and then allowing ourselves to receive more of the love that's available, the support that's available for us. Remembering we've got this, we're capable of getting through it. Our soul wouldn't have chosen these experiences for us if we were not already prepared. But now we're going to learn some more things. So go with the flow.
That's beautiful. It's staying in unconditional divine neutrality.
Exactly. One night in the middle of the night, I had a pounding migraine. And I did my usual things and, talk to my body and get a small amount of a migraine medication that supports me. And I'm waiting for it to kick in. And I remember Jesus said, very powerful healer these days. So I invoked him and asked for his assistance in helping me with the experience. And 5 minutes later, I'm aware that my head is pounding just as hard as it was 5 minutes before. And I'm getting nauseous and it's very uncomfortable. And so I let out this kind of sweet, Jesus, are you helping me? As I'm throbbing, and he says, practice radical acceptance.
Wow.
So what help was he giving me? He was present. But he's not intervening. And then when I asked again, are you helping me? Well, then the help he wanted to offer was to remind me to practice radical acceptance. So I thought, okay, well, what would it feel like to radically accept this pounding, throbbing? It's like, okay, this is what's happening. So I need to open and relax and accept that this is just what's going on in my body in the moment. And I know that the medication I took will, within 20 minutes, calm it down and shrink the blood vessel. And I won't be having, this very challenging experience after a bit of time. But in the meantime, what do I need to do? Accept, breathe, relax, and try to calm myself.
Words of wisdom indeed. Thank you for sharing all of this. I guess there's one last question that I have anyhow. How can we stay in love when fear comes up in our present moment?
If we find ourselves feeling fear, feeling anxious, first off, to know the energy is, as we all do know, it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good to be feeling that. And those energies are coming up and through us, and they may need to be processed out. But we can help ourselves while we're in the presence of releasing fear energies to tell ourselves we're safe. The remedy for not feeling safe is safety. So if we take our hands and we put them in the hip crease where our torso meets our upper legs, and one hand, two hands, whatever you're guided to, and then claim what the safety that we desire instead of fear. And so then if we just say, I am safe, and people listening can do this right now, putting hands, and you'll be surprised what'll come up and what you'll be able to release through the process. I am safe. So you're commanding with your I am statement a new experience. You're choosing and commanding into your experience that you're going to be and feel safe. And it helps to really feel it. What would it feel like if that was true? And often when I'm working with clients and I sense there's fear, there's anxiety, there's deep fear, even terror, we start with that process of choosing safety. Sometimes I say to them, do you feel safe with me right now? You're sitting in a chair, we're talking on a telephone, I'm in another chair. Are you truly physically safe in this moment? And they'll say, oh yeah, I'm fine. So I said, now we need to convince your body that that's true. So I am safe. And I'll have them repeat that 2-3 times. And in short order, they're crying and sobbing and releasing the sadness energy that got trapped from some other moment of now in some other timeline from their ancestors, traumas where they weren't safe in the moment and they felt that terror or fear or anxiety, but we can release it and let it arise by giving the body exactly what it desires instead. I am safe. And so you're really telling every cell in your body, okay, if you're anything other than safety, we are putting on notice to the universe. We're choosing to be safe choose safety from now on throughout all time. So any old anxiety, any old fear, you can just get on up and get on and come on up and out. And so you can, while you're giving yourself safety, holding yourself in compassion at the same moment, you can be releasing fear. Your heart might be pounding, you might be shaking or trembling, there might be crying or tears coming out. You're allowing yourself to be present while you release fear because you've chosen a new state of being, which is safety.
Beautiful. I am safe.
Yeah, it's so simple. And we can do it, in any circumstance. Hand on your, at the hip crease, I am safe.
Very good. I like that a lot. That's beautiful. So maybe we can all remember that next time we get into that situation. If there's anything else, please do chime in.
Janet.
Yes, correct.
I believe that those who are listening and those who are awakening to the fifth dimensional realm of conscious awareness right now are also aware that their voice counts, and that as we come together with group consciousness, that we are changing the world more rapidly than any other time in history.
Absolutely true.
Absolutely true. And I am expecting that what we are going to be challenged with is we will all have enough, and nobody has to go to a daily job anymore, ever. And what are we going to do with our community? We're going to think globally and act locally, as they say. And what is it that we do with more than enough and do it together? And I was wondering if you have been thinking about this, and have you something to share about this question?
Yeah, sure. That's such a brilliant question. If we think, well, gee, a lot of us have worked at jobs and said, boy, the second I have enough money, I'm not doing this anymore. And not choose that any longer. But it is our nature as divine beings to be of service. So when people no longer when resources are plentiful, when we're all embodying and experiencing abundance and prosperity and supported with NESARA and the other redistribution of wealth and all of that, we're only going to experience that, of course, when we're ready to receive it. But when we're in the having, after so much time being in the not having, then people are going to look around and go, someone needs to be at the grocery store and smile at people and ring up their groceries and ask them about their day and help them put things in a box or plastic bag and help them carry it out to their car if they would like assistance. And I would love to touch people in that way. And so people are going to choose, I do believe, from their hearts, driven by their soul's urges of where they can be of service. Because to just simply have everything they require monetarily and sit at home and not be of service will actually not feel right. It won't feel aligned. It'll be more service to self energy. It'll be a lower frequency. And people will be going, well, I have everything I require. And by the way, my body's feeling good because I had my med bed treatment and, I've got now energy. So standing on my feet for 4 hours to do a shift at the grocery store checkout is no problem. I'm up for it. I want to go put a smile on people's faces. But it won't be out of the choice of, oh, the remuneration for that job will be, X, and that doesn't seem like a fair exchange on my energy. A person will just say, I'm going to do it because I love to be of service and I resonate with the items that store stocks, and and offers. And I love they have organic food, or I love that they have sports stuff, and I'm really into sports stuff. So I really believe that the old thinking around who would ever want to do that job dissipates when we all move into loving service, and that there will be, in fact, plenty of people willing to do all the different jobs, even if they don't pay that well, because they can be a really good way to touch people and love on people and share your light.
Beautiful.
All righty. Have you thought about it yourself? And have you decided what you're going to do with more than enough?
Oh, I know I'm here, another 40 years of training and coaching and supporting people, and in whatever way I evolve into, I don't see myself stopping. I'm 69 now, and I can imagine my body feeling better. And I'm more than happy to receive that. As far as
Yes.
supporting
Yeah,
consciousness, I'm all in. I'm sorry, I was speaking over you. Please go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just saying I expected unlimited amount of time, that there's no limits.
I'm sorry. I just want to thank Janet one more time. And where can we find you online, Janet, if people want to book a session? And I can attest to how phenomenal they are.
God bless you, my dear friend and supporter. You can find me, come to my Facebook page, to Janet Doerr Medical Intuitive, and then just reach out and send me a message, and I'll send you the link to my scheduling system. And on the show page, I believe there's a link to receive a free gift. So you can receive the gift, 5 steps to transform your energy, transform your health. Well, then you're connected with me, so you'll know where I'm speaking next. And in case you'd like to follow me and hear more wisdom and have an opportunity to learn more deeply with me. Janet Doerr, Medical Intuitive.
And you spelled Doerr, D-O-E, 2 R's. What an amazing show. We're so grateful and honored to have you with us again, Janet. It's been a real pleasure. And I definitely encourage our audience to follow Janet. And if you book an appointment with her, she is absolutely amazing. When you have a one-on-one session, she helped me through an incredibly intense period of my life. And I am infinitely grateful for her assistance. Yes.
Thank you. Bless you all. Thank you. And to everyone listening, I send you waves and waves of love from my heart. You've got this. You're capable. You're prepared. And it's all going to be a blessing. You'll learn later what all the blessings were. So stay open.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Janet.